So you put in the work, you build the campaigns, and you set up the nurture sequences. You're driving engagement, and then you hand leads to sales, and the feedback is always the same. You see, that is a scoring problem. If your account engagement model is running on default settings, it is not filtering for buying intent. It is filtering for activity. And those are not the same thing. And the marketers who have figured this out have one huge advantage, which is their qualified leads actually close. So I'm going to show you how to configure your account engagement scoring so that the number on a prospect record actually means something to your sales team. But let's be honest here, none of the things I'm going to share with you will even matter if your account engagement emails are ending up in spam. And matter of fact, the more work you do will just burn you more time and more leads because they're not hearing from you. So you want to save yourself from all of that by booking yourself a free Deliverability consultation call with me using the link below so I can tell you what your score is and how you can get it to the highest so your emails are increasing sales, not spam. So let's get started with what scoring is. Scoring in account engagement is a number that climbs as a prospect engages with your marketing. They open email, click links, fill out forms, visit pages. Every one of those actions drive their score up. The whole point is to give you a live real-time signal of how interested that person actually is in your business based on what they're actually doing. So if you pull up any prospect record, you will see their score sitting on the right-hand side, pulled from their full activity history. But what you're looking at is just the service. There's an entire scoring model underneath calculating that number. You can only see it in action. Standard form submissions are defaulted to 50 points each. Now bear in mind, that is completely editable. You decide what every action is worth to your business. Now, on top of the base model, you can also move scores up or down through automations and engagement programs, triggered by whatever factors matters again to your business. So here's a great use case. Imagine you built a deeply educational engagement program that walks prospects through your service step by step. Someone who goes all the way through the journey is showing serious intent. They invested their time, they stayed engaged the whole way. That's a major buying signal. So at the end of that sequence, you add an automated step that bumps their score by another 100 points. And now they're rising to the top exactly where they should be. Now there are spots all over account engagement where you can push that number directly. But today we're going into the root of it, which is the base scoring model itself. So here's how to get there. Click on account engagement settings at the top of the screen. Then go to automation settings and from there click on scoring. Now once you're inside, you will see the full list of all scoring rules with their current point values. Some defaults are completely fine. A custom redirect click at a 3-point makes sense. A form submission at 50 points works for most setups. No need to touch those. But here's the one I have a real problem. With opportunity loss at negative 100 points, I generally think this default is wrong for most businesses, and here's why. You see, in my experience, some of the best prospects you'll ever close are people you already had a deal with at some points. Think about why deals actually fall through. It's almost always timing. Maybe they were at a stage where they didn't need what you offer yet, but 6 months later, the situation is completely different. So you see, a lost opportunity doesn't mean zero interest. If anything, that group is one of the warmest pools you could ever prospect from. Because they already know you, they already sat through the sales conversations. They evaluated you seriously and came close. And that is not a dead lead, that is a future pipeline. And penalizing them with 100 points is working against your business. Because look at what the default is actually doing. When an opportunity is created, the prospect gets 50 points. But when the deal is lost, they get hit with a negative 100 points. That's a 150 point swing in the wrong direction. Because that means with the default settings, a warm lead who almost bought from you is now sitting at the bottom of your database, almost invisible. And if you're looking at these rules right now and you're feeling stressed out, well, I hear where you're coming from, because this is only going to get more complex depending on your setup, depending on your business, depending on your sales cycle, and so on. So to save yourself from all of those guessworks with the stakes being so high, you want to book yourself a free call using the link in the description below so I can tell you exactly what rules makes the most sense for your business, because I've done this 1,000 times. Now going back to the scoring, my recommendation is to set your deal loss to negative 25 points. And the logic is if an opportunity gets created, it gets 50 points, but if a deal gets lost, we reduce it by 25 instead of 100. And in this way, you're acknowledging that something just didn't work out instead of completely burning that lead. To make the change, you want to hit the edit scoring rules button in the top right hand corner. And you want to find the activity called lost opportunity and update the score value to negative 25. Now, here's a quick tip, which is you don't have to do these one at a time. You can edit multiple scoring rules on this same screen simultaneously. So if there are a few things to dial in, knock them all out in one go. When you're done, you just want to hit save. So our opportunity loss is now at negative 25 points. Now here's something that catches a lot of people off guard, which these rules are retroactive, meaning the second you hit save, account engagement goes back through your entire database and recalculates every single prospect score based on the new values. So in our example, anyone in your system who had previously lost opportunity just got 75-point boost instantly because you moved the penalty from negative 100 to negative 25, and they automatically pick up that 75-point difference across your entire database. And a lot of people get caught off guard by this because this is not how most things in account engagement work. Normally, when you update an automation or change a setting, it only affects what happens going forward. But the base scoring rules are a specific exception to that. So be intentional because your change have real immediate impact the moment you save them. Now that your scoring is dialed in and your best prospects are rising to the top, this is the time for you to be sending your emails. But if those emails are ending up in spam, then not only you burn time, but also the prospects. So if you haven't booked yourself a free Deliverability consultation call, you want to do it now using the link in the description below so I can show you what your Deliverability score is and how you can get it to the highest so that your emails that are being sent at the right time increases sales, not spam. But if you want to know what your email Deliverability score is, before jumping the call, here's how you can do it for yourself for free. You want to head to emailmob.com and go to free tools and run a free email Deliverability test. And to do that, you want to copy these email addresses and go to your email and paste these email addresses. And in the subject, you just want to write test. In the body, you can also write test and hit send. Now you want to go back to emailmob.com and click on check email deliverability. Now, after it loads, if your score comes back with 85% or above, then you're all set. The DNS records that you've now set up is more than enough and you shouldn't worry about anything. But if it's below that, that means your reputation is too low for the DNS records to be enough and to save you from spam. Going back to scoring, you want to scroll down and you'll also see a section called scoring categories. This is a more advanced feature, only available in the Plus edition or higher, but it's powerful if you need it. And the concept is if you got two completely separate product lines, you don't have to cram all your prospects' interests into a single score. You can track product line A interests and product line B interests completely independently, so your reps know not just how engaged someone is overall, but exactly which part of your business they're actually interested in. And the scoring rule edits work exactly the same way here. And there's the same edit scoring rules button in the upper right to modify the point values for these categories. And that covers the core of scoring setup in account engagements. But here's the most important thing that I can leave you with, which is don't treat this as a one and done configuration. Come back to it, because as your campaigns run and your data builds up, you'll start seeing patterns, certain activities that are generally predictive of buying intent, and others that look like engagement but never end up converting. And when you spot that gap, update the model to reflect what you're actually seeing, because scoring gets sharper and more valuable the more you tune it to how your real prospects actually behave in your business. And that is the difference between building a scoring model that is decorative versus one that tells you who to call when. And if you enjoyed the video, then you want to hit the like button and subscribe so I can make more videos for you so that you can make the best of Salesforce for your business to maximize its growth.